Watch the videos. They're here. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to solve equations still. But now we have a bit of a problem. And the problem is that we have letters on both sides of the equal sign. So if you imagine that the equal sign like splits things, right? We used to only have one letter on one side. Now we have a letter on each side. So that is like a new situation for us. So what we want to do when we get this situation is we want to move the letters all to one side. The way we decide which number to move is we're going to move the smaller number. So we have 5 ends on the left, we have 2 ends on the right. We are going to move the 2 ends because there's less of them. But when you move things, you always do opposite operations. So that's a plus 2n, so we need to subtract 2n from the right side so that it moves to the left side. On the right side, there will be no more left. On the left side, 5n subtract 2n gives you positive 3n's. Everything else is still there. So plus 9 equals, and now it's only 21. And just like yesterday, our goal was to take hard questions and make them into the easy ones we know how to do. That's what we just did. So we moved the 2n over, so now it's a basic question again, where we only have to move the 9 and then move the 3. We move the 9 first by subtracting 9 from both sides. That gives me 3n equals 12. Yeah. Yep. Divide both sides by 3 to get rid of that 3. And that's n equals 4. So like I said, honestly, like it's not going to be that bad. We just need to know how to adjust things. I'm just going to let people write this down. I'm going to slide over to B so we can do it together. So I moved the 2n by subtracting 2n. And then I had an equation that I need to move things away from the n to solve it. If we look at B, again, you want to move the least amount of n's. This is 4n, this is 9n. Let's move the 4n to the other side by subtracting 4n from both sides. That'll move the ends so they're all on the right side of the equation, leaving me with 6 equals 5n plus 21. Right? I move the n so they're on one side. Then the goal is to get n by itself. What do you have to move first away from the n?
6. No, 5.
You said every number now. 6, 5, 21. We got to pick one. So if we think about it, the equal sign is here. So I'm moving things to the left. So I move the 21 first. So move the 21 first. So we had to move that 21. The opposite of plus 21 would be subtract 21. That means on the left side, 6 minus 21. You throw that in your calculator, you'll get minus 15. It's really negative 15. And on the right side, all you're left with is 5n. Then I need to move that 5 away from that n. Remember that that's multiply. Divide it, right? So if that's 5 times n, the opposite of timesing, 5 times n, the opposite of timesing is dividing. So I'm dividing both sides by 5.
Negative 5, negative 3.
You got it. Negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3 equals n.
So,
Killing it. Yeah, and you can do these questions the other way. So did you move things the other way? Like you move the 4n? Yeah. Yep. And honestly, like you can still do it sometimes other ways, and it works. I try to keep a system so that it's easier for me.
what's the easiest way to get out of school suspension?
We'll talk about that after. But I got a plan for that. So if I look at this, again, I want to move the least amount of n's. This is 8n. This is negative 2n. Negative is definitely less than positive 8. So I need to move those negative 2n's. The opposite of negative would be adding 2n's.
10
So I add 2n to get 10n. You're correct. 10n plus 10 equals negative 20. The reason I always move the least amount is because then it makes positive values, and I like to have positive values whenever possible. We move the n's. We now have this. We have to move the plus 10 first. So the opposite of plus 10 would be minus 10. You do that to both sides. That gives you 10n equals positive 2. Nope.
No.
Negative 30. I was doing dividing. I messed that up by a mile. Negative 20 minus 10 would be negative 30.
Negative 3 is a positive 3.
You tell me.
Negative 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So my last step would be divide by that 10. When I divide by 10, I get n equals negative 3.
Oh, this one's weird.
D is going to be our hardest one. So D is a mix of what we did yesterday and a mix of what we did today. So if you missed yesterday, this is a good one to kind of like really focus in on. The difference with this one is we got those brackets again. Whenever we see brackets, we want to get rid of those brackets. The way we get rid of those brackets is by multiplying, right? What this means, it means 5 times n plus 3. So we need to multiply the 5 into the brackets. So 5 times n is 5n. 5 times 3 is plus 15. Oh, you're way ahead. I like it. The next one, you multiply the 4n to get 4n. Multiply the 4 again to a minus 44. So we get rid of the brackets by the terminology we use is expanding, right? We're multiplying into the brackets. Then
4n, take away 5n, which gives you 1n.
Right, you want to take 5n and subtract 4n, right? You're moving the 4s to the left?
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
So you'd have 1n.
Yep.
Take it away.
You're right. So he's saying you move these 4n from the right to the left, which is absolutely what you do. So we subtract 4n from the right side to move all the n's to the left side. That gives me 1n plus 15 equals negative 44. Now, I put a 1 in front of the n, just so it's very clear you can see there's a 1 there. You don't have to do that. So if you just put n, that's fine. But I like to see that 1. So I put a 1. Cool. Now I move the 15. So I subtract 15 to the other side. So I have minus 15 from both sides. And I have 1n equals,
59.
oh, I thought you had it over there, negative 59.
I told you.
Yeah, I know, you had it. You had it right off the hop. Right
I
off the
was like,
hop.
oh no.
Yeah, so negative 44 minus 15, you throw it on your calculator, negative 59. That is your answer. If you want, you can write the 1 there. You don't have to. If you want, you can even divide that 1 to the other side to make it just n, if that makes you feel better. And it would still be negative 59. Cool. So if you missed yesterday, that's all we did. We did multiplying into the brackets.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Easy. Okay, we got a couple left. So E, we look at those brackets. We want to get rid of those brackets. The way you get rid of the brackets is by multiplying whatever's in front of the brackets into the brackets. If you look, there's nothing in front of the bracket here. So if there's nothing there, it's an invisible 1. When you multiply that 1 into the brackets, Nothing changes. So it'll still be 5n plus 5. Okay, so there's an invisible 1 in front of those brackets, and you multiply it in. The negative 6n is still there, equals the 2 will come into the brackets to be 2n. The 2 comes into the next thing to become plus 24, because 2 times 12 is 24. And then plus 8 on the end. Something else we worked on yesterday was collecting like terms. So after you multiply, sometimes you have something called like terms. On the left side of the equation, I have a like term right there.
Did you just do the 2n and the 5n to make it 7, and then you do the 6n?
Good question. You can only collect like terms on the same side of the equal sign. So these are both on the left side of the equal sign, so they can combine. The 2n is on the right side. So it can't combine into, yeah, you'd have to subtract it, right? Or you get minus 1n. So when I combine those, I get minus 1n. And then it's still plus 5. Equals, on the right side, there's a 2n, but there's more like terms on the right side. We have a plus 24 and a plus 8, which is plus 32. So we collected like terms. The left side collects with the left side. The right side collects with the right side. We then are back to one of the original questions from today where we have n's on both sides. We need to move those n's. So I'm going to add one n from the left side to the right side to give me 5 equals 3n plus 32. I want to subtract 32 to the other side. 5 minus 32 is negative 27 equals 3n's. And my last step would be to divide that 3. Negative 9 equals n. This is your unit.
Apparently.
All right. We got one left. It's the hardest one. 10. We got an answer. We're going to see if it works out. Let's look at it. So first things first, we got brackets. Brackets are scary. Let's get rid of those brackets. We get rid of them by multiplying into the brackets. So the 2 comes in. 2 times 5 is 10n. 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. The plus 3 is still there. Equals, this 2 comes into the brackets to become 6n. 2 times 7 becomes plus 14. And then plus 11 on the end.
So you just have the 6 on the minus.
Yep.
So it'd be 4n.
Yep. I collect my like terms after I multiply. So on the left side, I have a negative 18 and a positive 3. So that's going to be 10n minus 15
Wait a second.
equals, and on the right side, I have 6n, add those like terms to become plus 25. We multiplied, expanded. We collected like terms.
Why don't you just do the 6n and 10?
Honestly, the better you get it, the more you can move a couple things at once. So like you said, yeah, you could do that first for sure.
This is 4n.
Yep. Yeah, if you see that, you can do that. And as you get better, you will be able to kind of do a couple moves at once. For me, I'm now going to move that 6n from the right to the left by subtracting 6n to the other side. That gives me 4n's minus 15 equals 25. I'm going to add 15 because that's what you move first, right? Making 4n equal 40. Oh, you did get it.
So it's just 10?
Yeah. And the last thing you do is you divide by 4. And you get n equals 10. And I think Savannah's like, we got like the algebra goddess over there. You crushed that out. Well done. Yeah, not bad, hey?
Not horrible.
Not horrible. And you think about where we started, right? We've built all the way up to this, and you guys are crushing these practice sheets, which is good. So I'll hand them out. You got loads of time, so you can do the practice sheet. Also put up who we're writing letters to, so that we can get our letters